Marcus, what are the chances that you do indeed get a deep-fried Oreo before this day's over with?
I'd say it's fairly likely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think so?
I really do.
Right.
Well, I mean, I didn't have a fried Oreo, but I've had some sliders. I've had about 2 loaded teas. I'm sweating and shaking my butt off from those loaded teas because I didn't think about it. I thought they were just sugar-free teas, but they're actually super energy drinks with a lot of caffeine and B vitamins and stuff. So I'm hot and red and nice and flushed and excited to be here.
You really are. No wonder they cost $20.
Is that why the world's going woo, 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 woo?
Yeah, I thought that was just the subwoofer, but I looked around and I forgot we already put those up.
Oh. Is that like a small dog? Is that like a dog underneath another dog?
The subwoofer. All right, welcome to the
good.
Food Truck Festival, everybody.
Yeah,
Let's have a time.
2023 Food Truck Festival.
Food Truck Festival. I mean, what a great idea.
I know, it's a perfect idea. Hey, everybody, I'm Dane Holland.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer.
I'm Marcus. I'm Electro Man.
I'm Austin Tiny Zent.
And this is Nerd It Through the Grapevine, the podcast where 4 best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. And we are at the Food Truck Festival 2023 Middle Tennessee edition, live.
Yeehaw!
Ye to the hall.
It has been a tremendous day for playing music and talking to people and going to different booths. See, we're doing something a little bit different than the last time we came to a festival. Last time we came to a festival, we were at the Banana Pudding Festival, and we walked around a little bit and talked to folks. And that was the most uncomfortable podcasting experience that I can imagine because we were all tethered together like 3 babies on the same umbilical cord, and Dane was the mom. We were just walking around sticking out of his papoose.
Yes.
I mean, we was a hexapus, and I appreciated it, except for when we was in the building that was slam packed full of people.
And I'm telling you guys, if all you listeners out there, if you want to enjoy some different varieties of stuff and things and arts and crafts and hemp products and candles and drunken bakeries that use a lot of liquor in the way that they cook stuff.
I thought you were going to say drunken babies, the way you said drunken. And then
yeah, drunken baby. No, that's next week. They're having them corralled in the petting zoo. If they start mooing and bang, it's not anybody's fault. It's just natural.
I mean, y'all were only
fest.
a few steps away from a human centipede.
That's true.
That's true.
And that would have been an experience that we would have probably went to jail for, as many people that would have seen us. There were 35,000 people there. We've got a few thousand people that have came out today for this food truck festival up here. But this is one of the last events they're going to be having at the Putnam County Fairgrounds, turns out, because they have recently sold the property and the Putnam County Fair will no longer be located at the same place anymore. R.I.P. the fairgrounds.
What are they going to do with it?
They're turning it into a condo development
Oh, my
and
God.
retail stores and everything else. So there'll be some more apartments right next to some more apartments right across the road.
I just want to go ahead and call this right now. If we're ever in a human centipede situation, I'm the mouth. I call it. It's recorded. Now it's in stone.
No,
I don't care positionally where y'all are. I'm at the front of the choo-choo.
we do not have the cowbell. Therefore, this is not canon.
You cannot call it. The thing is, too, though, I would much rather you be the caboose of the for everybody's safety. Just be the
Of course
caboose.
you would.
Good Lord, I could not imagine. Like, could we even eat that quickly? I don't even eat that much real food, much less something you've processed.
Even at a food truck festival.
Yes, imagine if we went to each of the food trucks in a line tethered together like this, and we were eating a piece of food and then passing it back to the person behind us one after another.
Oh,
And
my
they
I'm
ask
still
us-
willing to do that.
That is a good point. We did get food from a food truck at the Food Truck Festival, which is a step up from the Banana Pudding Festival,
we didn't get jack.
where we did not get any banana pudding whatsoever. But we succeeded in this one, and because the layout is so much better, because it's a bunch of food trucks, and they're everywhere, so there can't be just one line for everybody, like there was at the banana pudding. And Marcus actually has some. Is that barbecue nachos?
cheese fries
Oh,
Barbecue cheese
with
man.
jalapenos.
They do smell fantastic.
Incredible.
Pulled pork.
I just
have some.
I just had a chicken Philly. They were sold out of the steak for the regular Philly, and I went with my choice B, and I'm glad that I did. It was wonderful. And I want to know, what is the fascination with people, including all four of us, with food coming out of vehicles, like from people you don't know?
I think it's just the breaking out of your standard restauranting experience, just so you can, be, number one, mobile for the restaurant, to be anywhere at any time. Number two, they can have, increased prices and sales.
Yeah.
Because it's not your standard restaurant. So they're going to charge you a little bit more just because it's unconventional. Yeah. So it's going to work out for the benefit of the people making the food in the first place. And number three, if they sell out of food, they're done for the day.
They can leave.
They can
They can drive away.
Or we're really close to Walmart. Just go get some more.
Yeah.
And keep going.
Just go pick
keep
some
making
more
money.
stuff. If you've sold all your normal stuff, just go make hot dogs. People still buy that if you're down to just that. But Austin and I have even in the past talked about wanting a food truck, because whenever we had our Best Friend's Tiny Kitchen show on YouTube, which will eventually be revived at some point whenever we find the time and the want to put in the effort to do it, we were like, well, that's even a good name for a mobile, food truck. It's Best Friend's Tiny Kitchen. It's tiny. It's in the back of a truck, and we could totally do that. But I have no idea what it takes to even start that situation.
Way more food prep.
license.
Yeah.
Way more food prep than what they're ever wanting to do, because for what we did for Best Friend's Tiny Kitchen, it was enough to feed 2 people.
Well, I've often said a grilled cheese food truck would be amazing.
Yes.
And realistically, not that much prep. You just need your different cheeses, different, things to put in there, and a couple of different breads.
Some local breads would be the best.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we can get some local bakeries and stuff to maybe team in with us or something like that. But grilled cheeses can be made on anything, and grilled cheeses can be made into anything. I've seen a majority of people nowadays using grilled cheeses as their base level buns.
Wait, a grilled cheese with a burger and then a grilled cheese for like the sandwich?
Yeah.
How is humanity not wiped out already?
Well,
how have we not just left
coming.
the face
It's
of
coming.
the earth?
Don't worry.
The modern BMI has actually averaged a whole lot higher here recently, and I think it's due to the grilled cheese buns.
I mean, I have seen donuts being used in a bun situation, like with cheeseburgers.
True.
I feel like that's worse than the grilled cheese
Yeah,
bun.
that's the evolved
I mean, it
form.
might be, but what if you made a grilled cheese out of donuts and then use it as buns?
That's only if you want to murder a man.
Man
You
can
could
only
put some-
go so
or
far.
woman or other.
Put some bacon in there, too.
You're reaching...
Bacon grilled cheese donut burger?
How many people are you trying to kill?
I don't know. Not like a mass genocide level, but just enough that they die with a smile on their face, and I know I helped. I just want people to enjoy some food, because for the longest time, I watched everything that I ate. And I'm not talking like I watched it go from my hand into my mouth. Like, I was strict. I was, no carbs, monitor your fat, monitor your protein intake, like trying to do my best to be fit and in shape. But happy probably lasts longer than fit. And I don't know if that's a scientific statement, but we could find out, because a lot of my favorite bodybuilders that I've had over the years, dead. Just drop dead. So you look at these peak physical conditions, like these peak physical specimens, and they die because of the abuse that they put their body through over the years. So if they're dying in their 40s and 50s, and you got these fat boys like me living up to 70, 75 and dying of a heart attack, I'm beating that average on that.
Yeah.
I'm doing a good job.
They replaced the donuts with substances that will damage you pretty much worse than a donut. So
yeah, that's true.
I think that's the part.
Yeah, we're not injecting donuts.
No.
Yes.
Man, that's how we make jelly fields. Then turn it into grilled cheese.
I prefer cream filled.
Oh my gosh! Instead of
I bet you do.
Instead of a jelly filled donut, we can do a nacho cheese filled donut and use it as a burger.
A savory donut.
A savory donut burger patty.
We glaze it in, like, I don't know, barbecue or teriyaki sauce.
I don't know. We've had too many foods to give us inspiration for stuff today.
We get a Long John donut. The long rectangle boys are called Long
yeah.
Johns.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Scared. I don't want
Now,
no damn Long John.
Now
Tiny,
hold
no.
on. Go with me here. In that, you start a kielbasa. So you have a sausage in a donut. On top of that, nacho cheese, barbecue sauce, peppers, onions.
It's got to be homemade nacho cheese, dude, because that nacho cheese
absolutely.
is like...
Yeah, I don't like the store-bought, in the can. Wasn't there a movie not long ago that did really well about a food truck? Was it Chef?
Yeah,
Is
Chef.
that the movie?
Yeah.
You watched the movie.
I loved that movie.
I did not see the movie.
It was with Favreau.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he actually learned how to cook.
Yeah.
And he has a separate TV show,
The Chef Show.
The Chef Show, which I have seen. I haven't actually watched the movie, but Favreau actually like goes to these famous chefs and learns stuff, like actually how to make these awesome foods.
And you know the thing that was crazy about the show is the chefs actually respect the work that he put into his role to give the appropriate, I don't know, representation to the craft.
Mm-hmm.
That when he's in the kitchen with these people, they call him chef. They call him chef as well. I mean, because chef is, it's a sign of respect. You're the leader, and they'll call him chef.
That's cool.
Because he's in there, he's chopping, he's filleting, he's doing all this stuff, and he's actually doing it the way that they would be doing it. And sometimes you'll see him just like looking at him like, "You're no stranger to the knife. You're no stranger to the chop, are you, brother?"
Yeah. Well, I mean, being a chef is that's a whole nother nerd level, too.
That's taking food as a passion, and it's not just consuming it; it's knowing how to deliver it to people, and also your flavor combos and your acids and your salts and your heats, and it's just so much stuff.
Yeah. Tiny, you've been a chef.
I have been.
How did that go?
It was an interesting learning experience because I learned things about foods that just different combinations and what plays better with what, and so now I know what it means when you hear someone go, "Oh, this needs a little more acid," because it can help just cut through some of that just fattiness.
Yeah.
And it makes me question every family dinner I've ever been to because the Southern family dinner is just fat laden, just greasy deliciousness.
Yes.
And there's nothing to break that up.
Your sauce for that occasion's probably going to be flour based and mixed with grease and milk.
Yep.
That's what you get. It's called gravy.
Yeah. And then everything else has got a real heavy mayonnaise base. So anymore, I try to take something light and citrusy or something to just brighten everything up, and actually makes the other food way better.
Have you ever had anything like growing up, you ate it all the time, and then as an adult, you like found a recipe that wasn't from the family, and you kind of made your own thing and realized this has flavor. Like this thing has ascended what I ever thought it could be. Like pot roast.
Take any like regular old family meal,
Yeah.
and then add seasoning.
Yes.
And then it's like, wow,
Where was this?
Yeah.
Why were we afraid of this?
why
before?
have I been sheltered?
Yeah.
Well,
Salt and pepper. Like, that's it.
Yeah, you did so well. You put extra from what family used to do, because compared to the way that I like to cook, a lot of the stuff that we used to have at family functions, like no seasoning in comparison.
yeah, some of my family members, I think they use the cookbook Cooking for Caucasity because they only use a small amount of salt to flavor the food.
Well, it's too spicy, Tiny.
I know.
Too much salt, and then it's too spicy.
Like that pizza we had last time.
Oh no,
we
that
recorded.
was a not sarcastic too spicy from the salt.
We need to put out a warning.
Marcus, you got
Yeah.
to miss out on that, but the last time that we recorded, Tiny had bought a pretzel crust pizza from Little
a
Caesars.
stuffed crust, pretzel crust pizza,
And-
it's back.
And you know how you get like those soft baked pretzels, and they have like the sprinkling of that like heavy salt on the outside of them.
That's
This
really good.
this one wasn't a sprinkling. It was like they left
Oh,
it super
God.
greasy and they dipped it in a margarita thing, like where you
That's
rimmed
too
your
much.
margarita glass.
That's too much.
Yeah, they rimmed the pizza in just the most amount of salt,
It's like that big salt. What do
Yeah.
they call that?
like rock salt.
I don't know if it's
Pretzel
rock.
salt.
Pretzel
There
salt.
was so much salt that it was spicy, and like that's no lie. Like it hurt my mouth and the rest of me just to put it inside of me.
Yeah. When he got to the house, see, and this was the size pizza that Tiny would normally have the whole thing probably done by the time you get to the house, right?
Yeah,
Because, I mean, that's
typically.
quite a drive, and
Yeah.
it's just a pizza, so you eat it quick. He got to the house, and there was half of it still there. And he's like, okay, you guys have to eat a piece of this pizza. It's the saltiest thing I've ever had in my entire life. And I thought, surely not. But even biting the pizza part of the pizza, not even just the pretzel part with all the salt on it, you could already get a hint of what's to come.
Yeah.
And each bite just built up to the point of no return, of it hurting your mouth.
The most seasoned thing that a Caucasian American has ever provided me for food has been country ham, and that pizza had country ham whooped on salt content. And I mean, think about eating a big old slab of country ham, and about what your face and your ankles and your body just does after you're eating that big slice of country ham. Like, you're going to swell. After eating that slice of pizza, that singular slice of pizza, I started swelling. And it wasn't in a good way.
No, it wasn't. It was quite alarming. I'm generally a crust eater. I know there's people out there that don't do that. On this pizza, I solely ate the middle after like 2 pieces of eating the crust because I just could not.
What do you guys think's the most made food in a food truck? Would it probably be tacos?
Barbecue.
At least at this one.
Barbecue. Yeah,
I've
this
seen
one
like 3 or
definitely.
4.
Yeah, there's some really good barbecue here. I had a piece of it earlier. I had a piece of brisket. I'm really not the biggest fan of barbecue anymore, though. I'll just throw it out there, just because within the past couple years, I've started being a wedding DJ, and I wedding DJ a lot. I mean, I'm out and I'm going quite a bit. And what do most people do for catering for their weddings? Barbecue. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. Last time my dad and me went to a wedding, because he's the biggest free help that you'll ever get, and he's awesome for doing so. But we got some barbecue at this wedding, and these people were from Detroit, and they had never had Southern barbecue, so they got us some Southern barbecue delivered from Famous Dave's.
Huh?
Guys, you know how liquid smoke tastes? This, like, the little liquid seasoning?
Yeah.
Imagine if that was the only thing providing your barbecue smoking taste to it, and it tasted like it was bathed in it.
That's god awful.
I got sick off of just one piece. I was like, Dad, I can't have this anymore. And then I look over to Dad, and he's not even touching any of his food. And he's like, I don't care if it's free. This is going to make me sick.
Barbecue is one of those foods that has that entire subculture attached to it. Like, because everyone that knows their barbecue and does, they really take pride in it. They've all got their own special seasonings, their own special ways of smoking all of it and the time, and then there's so many TV shows about all of it, and it's just, I think it's the food that I've seen the most TV shows about one food. Marcus, what? Us talking about this, you cannot stop eating what you have in front of you, can you?
No,
No,
delicious.
that's actually tasty.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think it's the fact that they somehow kept the fries so crispy underneath the mound of goo that they put on top of it, and that's what makes it all
How?
good.
How?
Yes.
How's it possible?
That's magic, baby.
But the differences in barbecue are regional, right? There's different
Yeah.
ones because, like you mentioned, Detroit, they've got their own style of barbecue there.
And apparently it's liquid smoke.
Yeah, apparently so.
Apparently.
And then you got your Memphis barbecue, you got your Kansas barbecue. I think it's more of like a sauce base, isn't it? Like a vinegar sauce.
A lot
Vinegar, I
of there's
think, yeah.
vinegar-based sauces. There's the tomato-based sauces.
That's Texas
Then
style
you have
barbecue,
your
isn't it?
mustard-based sauce, which I'm actually a fan of Carolina mustard bases.
Those
Yeah,
are
I'm
good.
more into it now.
I like it all, except I don't really like the white barbecue sauce.
I've never
White
liked white
barbecue
barbecue
sauce.
sauce.
It's
Or the
gross.
kind that they make with horseradish. I don't know, too much
You
horseradish.
shut
stuff
your
with it.
mouth.
Johnny.
I love
I can't
horseradish.
handle it. I just
Horseradish
can't handle it.
barbecue sauce, though? I don't think I've had that either.
A little bit
Yeah.
in there is really good. Gives a little bit of kick.
What
They have
is
everything?
white?
They have like Korean barbecue
Yes.
sauce,
I love
Jamaican.
Korean barbecue.
Like there's all
Jamaican
kinds of
jerk sauce.
flavors.
Yes.
All kinds of flavors.
KY just started making that recently.
Excuse me?
What?
The
No,
jelly?
I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. That was Jamaican jerk sauce brought to you by Kentucky Jelly.
Also, that is not good on peanut butter sandwiches. You think Kentucky.
You think any jelly, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Any
smack it.
jelly.
Kentucky.
Yeah, you should smack
Kentucky
that.
jelly and peanut butter. It's not the best sandwich in the world.
Goes down smooth.
Yeah, I prefer more jam base than jelly. So if Kentucky come out with like a jam sauce,
Then we
hey,
can talk.
maybe we'll give it a shot
Hey,
again.
we could sponsor a grape flavored one if we wanted to.
Heck yeah, I'm on board.
Grape flavored Kentucky Jelly brought to you by Nerd It to the Grapevine, the slickest boys in town.
Exactly.
The only way to order it is to slide into our DMs.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
We'll tell you the difference between jelly and
It's easy to
jam
do.
once you get a hold of it.
Well, see, jelly has more gelatin in it
Exactly.
than jam, and jam
Right.
is more of a fruit base.
Right.
Well, you'll
and
need
jelly
a
don't make me
difference.
dance.
Yeah, and you'll need
Yeah.
a whole lot of jelly if you're planning on jamming. So anyway,
Chili is the other one that, when I think regionally, that goes along with the barbecue thing, is one that it's so different everywhere. And I know what you're about to say because I've got to start off the chili conversation with Ohio. That's not chili, my dudes.
that's exactly where my brain went.
It's not chili.
Cleveland style chili. Oh, no, Cincinnati style
Cincinnati chili.
Cincinnati style chili can just
Hold
go
on.
away.
Hold on, though. Cincinnati chili is chili on top of spaghetti noodles. I can get behind it.
Yeah.
What's chili doing on spaghetti noodles?
It's surprisingly good.
I'm sure it is, but that's just spaghetti.
Well, I mean, it also reminds me of my daddy because that was what he made.
And that is wonderful and sweet, and I love it. But it's biscotti. It's not chili.
Yeah, look, I don't make it.
Right.
But if it's available, I'll get a little bit.
What is the difference, other than it being incredibly thin, between that and like a beef marinara, like a
Chili
beef
powder.
marinara?
And cinnamon and chocolate.
They put cinnamon and chocolate in the little thin
I
stuff?
put cinnamon and chocolate in my own chili.
Yeah, me too.
So it is good. It gives you a little of what's that in there.
Yeah.
But you don't do the sweet chocolate. You got to do
no.
that
Cacao.
really dark, bitter stuff that you should not ever eat.
It's
Put a
cacao.
little bit of that in there, yeah.
Cacao to give it the papow.
Exactly.
Cacao
TM.
equals papow.
TM.
Squared.
Yeah, a little cacao, a little cinnamon.
Ooh, that would be another good KY sponsored jelly.
What?
Cacao papow.
Cacao papow. Chocolate sauce boss.
Okay, Kelsey
right.
has just
Special
arrived
delivery.
with something for Marcus. And what have you received?
Oh, deep fried Oreos.
It happened. It
Marcus
happened.
has deep
Sound the
fried
alarms. Sound the alarms. Sound the bells. Light the fires.
I'm so hot.
Will you give me a play-by-play?
Yeah.
Are you going to eat it while it's this hot, or are
What
you
is
going to
this
let
called?
it simmer?
Are we bridging a new genre right now?
We're going to do some ASMO, some...
No, it's called like mukbang
Mukbang,
or
Well,
something.
yeah.
mukbangs are usually video,
Visual,
but this
yeah.
is audio mukbang.
Oh, that's even
That's
worse.
We're
worse.
verging into ASMR territory.
So worse.
Put it in you, Marcus.
Yes, I need to see this.
It's hot. It's too hot.
Yeah, it is. Keep talking about
Blow it
it.
a
Touch
little.
it.
She also brought back a funnel cake over here, and that's a lot
Yeah,
better
yeah.
than the funnel cakes that were here last time we were here, because most of the funnel cakes I saw last time wouldn't even make it to a table. They ended up in a trash can.
Is it that? Is it? Were they fresh fried?
Oh.
Were they just fried? Go on. How's
And
the
how
mouth
is it?
feel? Yeah, how's the mouth feel?
Let's see. What's he?
I have to admit, a little bit of disappointment.
Oh, dang. I bet it just tastes like an Oreo, but greasier.
Yeah.
Ah, shoot.
Hold on.
I
Is,
thought they put like ice cream in it
is
or
this
something.
your
Oh,
first?
dang.
Is this your first deep fried Oreo?
It is actually my first deep fried Oreo.
But Marcus, as far as deep fried Oreos go, because I had one earlier, those are perfection.
And your first is never your best, so you'll get better over time.
Maybe.
See,
Yeah,
and
keep-
it'll,
keep
it'll
it-
Okay, that second bite was
more
a little bit better.
experience.
You know, some
Right.
good friends of ours are actually here with their own booth set up for the Rock Island Trolley Stop. So that's an ice cream place that makes their own custom ice creams and custom freak shakes is what they call them. They're those giant milkshakes that have all the decorations and entire pieces of pie and stuff in them.
What?
Yeah, it's true. You can get that over there if you want to go get a freak shake. If they
What?
Yeah, they basically it's like say you want a cheesecake freak shake. They're going to put a whole piece of cheesecake shoved in the top of it like a lemon wedge on your sweet tea.
Hold on. Do they have like a key lime or a lemon pie kind of
I
situation?
do think they've got a key lime.
I just got the thumbs up from the Senor Fuzzy that they do have that type of situation.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they're I wouldn't say Instagram famous, but they've got a lot of people that follow them there because that's where I've seen their stuff, and I've never actually had one.
I've been there a couple times. I got there last time I was there. I got a fudge brownie sundae that had the Blue Monster ice cream in there, and the Blue Monster is cookie dough and Oreo.
Oh, thank goodness.
So I've got cookie dough and Oreo and brownie all in one bite, and I was a happy diabetic for a minute.
I thought it was going to be like Blue Monster energy drink flavored ice cream.
Hold on.
I was like, and then I just heard a motorcycle. I was like, oh, that's fitting. They'd probably be down for it.
Was it Wilfred level of sweetness?
Not actually, oddly enough, it really isn't that overpoweringly sweet.
What's Wilfred sweetness?
Well, you remember when I made that brownie chocolate chip cookie thing for
how
Yeah.
could I
Friendsgiving?
ever forget
Yeah,
that?
And we named it Wilfred because you couldn't feel your feet after eating a small piece.
That's because the feet done left. Like we thought we were okay, but the feet had done left the building. Like we had to send them an RSVP. That we'll be joining them later.
Yeah, like my blood felt like it was sizzling like bacon inside of my heart.
But it was delicious. But no,
I
nothing.
think that's what I'm going to feel like here in just a few minutes.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
especially after eating all four of them.
I haven't eaten this much in this short of time
well,
in
you
a
can,
long time.
You can always just give me one of those fried Oreos if you want to not eat them all.
I actually would like you to have one.
How'd you do that? How'd you just Jedi mind trick him into him giving you an
This
Oreo?
one's
Right.
thicker than the last one, and so it's actually good.
Here's Shazam's take on the deep fried Oreo, and I'll let you know how I like
You're
it.
going to be covered in powdered sugar when this is over with.
Mm-hmm.
Austin and I made them in the past, and they just turned into mushy, squish, grease Oreos. We did something terribly, horribly wrong, and
Don't
I've never
make
had
that
one
face.
since.
Don't do that face.
Does it
when you
taste like
do
the ones
that.
we made? Because they
Ours
weren't
were
good.
better.
There's no possible way. Ours weren't edible.
Ours
We didn't
were
even
better.
finish one.
Ours were better.
We didn't even eat an entire one. We took
No,
one
this
bite
is-
and laughed and
not-
spit it out.
I'm not
No.
going to do this show anymore if y'all are going to be like this.
No, it's good. It's just that
I'll take one bite of the
it's
one
just
that you did.
it's missing something, and I don't know
It's
what it would
missing
be.
something.
It's
I don't
like
know what it
something's
is.
not there.
Well, I've had some in the past that they did like a little bit of like raspberry jelly or
That's
something.
what
with
it needed. It
Just
needed
a
something.
little bit of that, just brighten it
Or
up.
just a little bit more of like the cream that goes in the middle. Like a double
They
stuffed.
should have done
A double stuff.
stuffed.
I mean,
Or
they may have double stuffed.
Yeah, it's
Maybe,
just
maybe.
fine. It's just fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not as delicate as I wanted it to be.
you know,
in my
do they
head.
deep fry other things over there? Because I saw deep fried Oreos. If they deep fry any candy bars, now that'll be another thing. Because you take a candy bar, you coat that with some
will.
dough. Tiny's gonna one bite it. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know what your problem is.
What would be the
That's
best?
fantastic.
What would be the best candy bar to deep fry? I've never had one before, and I know that they do. Like Snickers, surely not, right? Because
Snickers is amazing.
It's
deep fried.
already
gonna
tough,
say.
but it's already tough.
But Snickers deep fried is going to be melted on the inside, so all the toughness that's involved with it is going to kind of congeal a little bit, and it's going to be a squishy bite instead of a complicated bite.
I think the better question is which candy bars are better frozen.
None of them, because they all hurt my teeth.
No.
Reese's.
I would love to try frozen Reese's, but what would they put? Like just vanilla ice cream, like a layer of vanilla ice cream.
That's
along
all you'd
with the
have to
peanut
do,
butter
right? You just
and
blip
chocolate.
right on top.
I thought you was just chucking candy bars in a freezer, Marcus.
No,
That's what I thought. That's
no,
what I
I'm
thought you were
making
talking
an
about.
ice cream version, much like the Snickers ice cream bar.
Oh,
That's
you're
different.
talking-
Snickers
you're-
ice cream
you're
bars
not
are
talking-
amazing.
I thought you were talking about like what would make the best frozen candy bars, and I've already had a
Well,
lot.
that
of
is what I'm saying.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
That's not what you're saying at all.
I thought you were talking about making ice cream.
I thought that
Frozen
is-
ice cream bars.
I thought you were talking about like throwing a Snickers into the freezer
No,
and
that's
then
stupid.
going back to
Yeah.
it like 6 hours later.
Yeah, we're talking about like
Oh.
going to the BP, which stands for British Petroleum, getting a Baby Ruth off the shelf, putting it in the freezer, and you stand by the fridge for about an hour to pull it out and eat it. That's what we thought you were saying.
Stand by
That's-
the
that's
fridge the
really-
whole
Whatever
time.
you do
Just
when
wait
you're
there and
waiting.
watch it freeze.
Anticipation.
I don't
That's
know
what I
your
thought.
life.
Now, what I would do if you're talking about which ones would translate the best into an ice cream version, I mean Reese's definitely, because you're going to have that sweet peanut butter. It's going to go good with that ice cream mix. All you need is a little bit of chocolate inside of it, and many Reese's go well in ice cream in the first place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can get those going on pretty easy. Snickers makes great ice cream bars
do.
currently. So God, why are we just foodies today? It's
I
because
don't
it's a food truck
not
festival.
getting
Now we got
hungry.
food on
I'm
the
sitting
brain.
here stuffing my face like
No,
the whole time we've been
Well,
on.
it fits the theme, right? I mean, we're surrounded by it. People brought all this food to us. I think it's fair that we talk about
I've been
all of it.
saving my money and my appetite.
You want to know what
And
I
it's all
think?
gone now.
Now there are two booths here that have set up that I think are the ballsiest setup for booths at a food truck festival
Table
in my
Creek?
life. And that is the bouncy house people that set up at the food truck festival. Now, that's just what you need is to feed your
That smells like hot garbage, and I'm sorry.
bad. Oh, it's so awful. I'm downwind.
temporary pause while we get rid of
Downwind. Take one guess who did it. Kelsey, who else would have done it?
one person crying. Who do you think did it?
My eyes are watering. My shirt's not even helping. I have my face in my shirt. It's
I
not
thought Tiny said the table was creaking,
He did.
and I thought
That's
he
what
was.
when he
I
shit
thought
his
he
pants.
was meaning it. Like I thought it legitimately had a creak to it. No, he doo-dooed. He doo-dooed. My eyes watered.
It smells. You ever been near a dripping dumpster in the summer? It was that smell. Dumpster juice.
Oh, it reminded me of that time that I accidentally had a spillage.
Brought to you by KY Jelly,
Oh, my
dumpster
God.
juice.
It reminds me of the time
By
that
the
I,
food truck festival.
it reminds me of the time that I worked at McDonald's as a teenager, and one of the bags broke and spilled on me when I was trying to throw it into the dumpster. It smelled. I'll be all right. I'll get over it. It is what it is.
It was perfect timing for you talking about eating a bunch of food truck festival food and then jumping up and down on a blow-up trampoline.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and retract that statement because that's not the quickest way for you to get sick at the food truck festival. What we just went through was the quickest way for you to get sick at the food truck festival.
I'm glad I was downwind. I didn't smell any
You
of
better
it.
be glad because those people.
I was in the perfect spot for that.
My eyes are still like trying to get their focus back.
I tried to
because-
let it go, but by the time it hit you, that's whenever I was like, okay, well, this can no longer stand.
Well,
At least we was outside.
well, you reacted first, and I was like, "What's the big deal?"
I'm the closest to the blast zone. Of course I did.
I pointed it the opposite direction.
Well, being
You stink outside. You get an award.
I smell good. I bathe
parts
regularly.
of you. Parts of you.
I wear
do.
cologne. I
Parts.
just let gross things out of me.
As a kid, you can eat as much fried Oreos and funnel cake and smell tiny farts and eat food truck tacos and pork and jump around as much as you want, and you're good the rest of the day. The thought of it right now, the thought of doing it, my stomach is turning.
It reminds me of that the guy on Facebook videos that he's on those Facebook reels that it's like, oh Lord, my stomach's bubbling.
There was literally a kid that like walked up behind us and was like listening to us record, just nosily, and you ran him off.
Did I just murder a child?
He
No,
like got up.
no, he
and,
was-
like,
Is that child
was-
okay?
He's fine.
He was
ran
ready.
off,
He was
but-
ready to get out of here, man, because he was laughing at your fart because he thought it was really
But he was
funny.
also repulsed.
But then he was
Just like
also
everyone else
he had to
was.
run away and go behind the tree over there behind you because he was throwing up.
He ran directly to the food truck that's it's made out of a fire truck. He's looking for help, and he's not going to find it.
He thought that fire truck might have a hose so it could help you out. But
It was a nasal cleanser.
so now, being that you were a chef for a little while, and say a person was constipated, and besides magnesium citrate and all your over-the-counter remedies for like, laxatives, what would be the best thing to get somebody? You cook somebody that you could help clean them out.
Well, the first thing that came to my mind was more a beverage than a cooking type thing.
What would that be?
Prunes, coffee, chocolate, blend it. It's not going to taste good.
I don't know. It kind of
But
sounds
it'll-
like it might taste okay,
It'll
right?
clean you out.
What does a prune
Human
taste?
Drano.
What does a prune taste like? Like dark, like brown purple.
It tastes
it
like
tastes like
licking
brown-
an old person.
Tastes like brown purple. Okay, all right. I can see that. Like mothballs
Yeah.
or a fruit.
Prunes just taste like giant raisins.
Is a prunes a fruit? Prunes is fruit. Yeah.
Prunes are dried plums.
Were fruit.
Prunes were plums.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No one told me.
Yeah, just like raisins were grapes.
What's a plum taste like?
Plum, delicious.
Plums are
plums
good. Prunes not so much.
Plums like okay.
Yeah, I don't know how they can, because with grapes and raisins, they taste so different just from drying them out, and of course the sugar content they add to them.
Yeah, I like both of those.
But plums and prunes, like plums are juicy and sweet and kind of like milder on the overall flavor. But then
Like
you
me.
eat a prune and it's got
I
like
was
a
going to say that.
I know you are. I beat you to
you get
it.
a prune and it's got like a riney taste to it a little bit.
Because has it been dehydrated?
Yeah.
Oh, a prune is just the raisin of a plum.
Yes.
Yes.
See, why didn't you say that to begin
That's
with?
literally what I
Why
said.
didn't you tell me that?
He did use those exact
Why
words.
didn't you just say that to start off, and I would have known exactly what a prune tastes like? Prune tastes like raisin that's dirty.
Now, other things that I've avoided while I've been here at the food truck festival: cotton candy. Avoid it.
Hate it. It's
Don't-
just sugar.
It's sugar,
Literally.
and it's sticky. I've had those loaded teas. Too many of those. Don't need any more of those. I can see colors that are smelly. It's like smell colors. There we go. I did it.
That's
Nice.
you found your senses
Did you smell the color 9?
No, earlier the color that I was smelling was brown. I'm glad that that's gone now. Hopefully it doesn't come back, and if it does, walk away. Just walk away.
Why are we the only
random
podcast
kid.
here?
Well, I think we're the only podcast that's, introverted but extroverted enough to get out of the house and do it, because we can
Yeah,
be on the
that's a good
side over here to ourselves, kind of observing everybody do their thing. It's about teardown time here at the festival, so we can see all the booths and vendors kind of wrapping up their stuff and getting everything kind of packed up and ready to go home, and they're ready. They've been working their butts off all day, and they're sick of people.
Yeah, I would be too. See, I've not been a chef, but I have worked on the front of house portion of where, in a restaurant. So there's always this weird, like, I don't want to say animosity, but there's a divide. It is a civil war within a restaurant between the front of house and the back of house.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're making them work, you're being me, and Marcus, you've been in the same situation with me. You're making them work and they're making the stuff that needs to taste good so you make money. So you're both very frustrated with one another constantly. And if you get through a whole night with nobody in the back or front yelling at one another, success. Fantastic success.
Now, how far off from reality is the movie Waiting?
The movie Waiting takes...
Exaggerated.
It's way exaggerated. It dials that up to 15. Take out all the gross, because there's a lot of gross in there.
Oh, like the Famunda cheese and the add-ons.
And the goat, like showing each other your testicles while at work.
Well, it wouldn't be that
Y'all
way.
didn't do that? We did that in my kitchen.
Well, yeah, but you had a really big kitchen that you could probably hide behind corners.
Well,
We didn't have many corners.
We didn't really do that.
Oh,
because,
okay. I thought
you know,
maybe you really could.
I wanted to just lead people on and have them believe that, but I still have good friends that work over there, and I don't want to get them in trouble.
They wash their hands. It's
Maybe
fine.
we do it, maybe we don't.
Now,
I'll neither confirm nor
Now,
deny.
there is a scene in the movie Waiting to where you've got, it's 9:59 at night. The place closes at 10. You get the people that come in the door. Hey, you guys still open? And, of course, as a restaurant, if it's not 10 on the dot and the doors are locked, they made it.
We
Bleeders.
made it just in time.
what we used to call 'em, bleeders.
Now, the reaction and explosion from the back of the house staff.
Well, yeah, because they've been trying to get ahead and clean all their equipment and the grill. They've got the grill nice and cleaned off because you haven't had a guest in 45 minutes. They're like, we're going to get out of here in a great time. And then
a high school football team comes in with their cleats still on.
Yep. Or people that just came out of a, what is it? The ones that come in there now. Oh, it's from an exotic petting zoo.
What?
People. Yes. They are exotic animal owners, always wearing a big old cowboy hat. What do they call those?
10-gallon hats.
10-gallon hat, always. Boots. They've never kicked them off before.
So they're
in
like
their
the
life.
Tiger King of Tennessee?
Yes,
Oh my God.
absolutely. Absolutely. If the Tiger King were a preacher,
Oh.
that's who this guy is. Yeah.
So
He doesn't listen to the show. I'm safe. It's
So
fine.
it's absolutely true that there is a negative reaction to those "we just made it."
Yes. Oh, 100%. And it's everyone in the whole building. The host, as you see in the movie, the host is more scared of having to tell the server in the kitchen that someone just showed up because they get to go home after they sit them. They're free. They get to say, hello, I'm going to go ruin some people's night. Goodbye. And everybody else has to take care of it.
I don't understand why there can't be like a last call type situation.
There should be.
Like if you're at a bar type establishment, and about 2:30 they say the last drink orders. After this, we don't serve anymore.
See, I like that
why
idea.
does other restaurants not do that?
Like a 20-minute before we lock our doors, we're not going to seat anymore.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
that's a that's a reasonable rule that should be followed because you guys
People
aren't
have
their
lives,
slaves.
yeah.
You guys are not chained to the restaurant as far as you shouldn't have to be that way.
But I guess the mentality is, well, it's going to be more money. Like, I'm spending my money at your place,
the
so you
people-
should be happy to
Yeah,
have
but
it.
you're
It's like,
still
yeah, but
having
I'd
to-
rather just go home.
Yeah.
You're still having to pay
For
more
like other than
wages.
$10. Yeah.
But and at the same time, the people that will walk into a restaurant and hear that the doors are locking within 2 minutes and still sit down and be happy about it, they're not the type that are going to give you any money anyway.
Yeah, they're the
so,
worst people.
So the next 45 minutes to an hour that you have to spend being at work, you're not making any more money to begin with.
And
know,
you're just going to have to clean up their stupid mess. That's
Yes.
the worst part.
And
is
you
when they
still
trash
have to
the
be
place.
nice to them.
Yes.
And that's probably true to point with the movie too, because the very last person that Justin Long had as a was that Justin Long as the
Yeah.
yeah
Short.
the very
Ryan
the-
Reynolds.
the very last person he had as a guest that night that he had to serve was a person he knew from high school, and he was just kind of a dick.
Oh, yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
and steak, well done, ketchup. And
The actor was the guy from My Name Is Earl. The
Oh, it
main character.
was.
I can't remember his name
can't
ever,
either.
but Jason Lee.
He's been in a lot. He
think
was
it's
in a
Jason
lot of
Lee.
things when we were younger, like
Yeah.
as a younger actor.
Yeah, it's Jason Lee because I remember because his daughter's name is Pilot Inspector.
What?
Yeah, his kids
Hollywood,
have stupid names.
Hollywood,
It's
it is.
kind of cool though, right?
No.
I mean, a little cool,
no,
right?
and it's spelled all crazy.
Oh,
Why would you name
see
your
that
child
part.
Pilot?
If you're gonna name
Come
him
on.
that, spell it just normal.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's like-
give him a normal middle name.
Well, that's like Marcus's kid, Max Vane Whitaker. I mean, it's
Marcus, is this true
What?
that you have a child?
That's not his
Jeez,
name.
there for a second.
His
I
name
was-
is not Max Vane. I'm sorry, everybody. You don't get.
I'm trying to think back on the movie Waiting. There was a lot of it that was pretty spot on.
But
like,
the lady that like would be like, "Oh my God, cussing left or right," as soon as she stepped through the door, "Hey everybody, how's it going?" Like that's true.
100%
That's
real.
true.
That's
And
just retail in general. Anybody working a storefront, I think, feels that way most of the days.
they're normally the same like build and look as she is in that movie too. Like it's always black hair and tiny.
Oh, well, except for me,
Very
I was
small.
that person
Well,
at a restaurant.
Yeah, but at one point you weren't. I
Well,
think
not
that's
to
when
you,
Well,
but
no.
to everyone else.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe that's a good point. I only saw Smiley Marcus when I was there.
Yeah.
We didn't get to work together much, but I think that was on purpose.
They couldn't handle it.
No, I
Because
just
they-
had to work in the
I
mornings.
couldn't handle it. Yeah, I can't handle that. It's a totally different crowd coming in the morning and the night.
Yeah.
Totally different. But in the movie where they all kind of gather and compare how much money they make with each other, that's not really a thing that anyone does because
Yeah,
everybody
that would be like
that'd be
cringy.
weird. Yeah, it's super cringy. It's like because I don't want if I have a great night and you had a terrible night making money, the last thing I want to do is fan it in front of you and go, "This is how just luck went my way because I got nicer people than you did."
I mean, not to mention, you got to try to hide as much as you can from the people that are trying to take it all from you because you got to do X amount of tip out towards this person and that
Yeah.
person and everything else too. So I mean, it's not like you're being selfish. You're trying to work your job and get money for your job. And you guys at your restaurant, you have to tip out a lot of different people, don't you?
Less now than we used to, but
Andy Milanakis, is that the name? of the
Andy
kid?
Milanakis,
Yes.
He was the kid. He was the guy in the back.
He was.
Yes.
And Dane Cook.
Oh my God.
Dane Cook was in the back, and oh my gosh, what's his name? He's just always got the sweetest Mexican voice. I can't remember. Luis something.
I think it is Luis.
Luis something. Oh, it'll hit me later when I'm not thinking about it.
But
Carlos Mencia.
I don't think no.
I'm
that
just
one.
throwing out.
I don't think that one.
Throwing one out.
You're like, what Hispanic actors do I know?
Yeah, I don't even know if he's an actor.
Luis
but
Guzman.
You did it. Dang, that was pretty
Antonio
quick turnaround.
Banderas.
That's the one. Machete. He would be a perfect person to have in the kitchen.
Machete would be the perfect chef. He'd be back there just chopping, and
He's so good.
and if anybody came in like right at closing time, he'd make sure he took care of them. Hold on a second.
Before they even got in the building.
He'd take out their knees just right before they walk in the building, and then they lock the door right behind them, like it's 10 o'clock.
He's like, "Oh, you just made it." That movie's flooding into my brain. I forgot it totally existed. I wonder why the reason is that I forgot that it existed because I
It's
used to
because
have
of
to
me.
have a DVD of it. I used to have the film, and I lent it to Austin.
Yep.
And then he decided I'm gonna let my boss at Captain D's borrow it.
He quit the next day.
He quit the next day and stole my DVD of Waiting, and I am still waiting to get it back.
He probably
could've
thought he
at
was
least
slick
lied.
too.
No,
Yeah,
honestly,
he did.
He's like, I'm
honestly,
gonna quit, and and then that DVD will be mine.
Well, he probably didn't even think about it like
Played
that.
the long game. He started working there just to get that
steal
DVD.
just to steal the not my DVD. What I think happened is I think he was going to have a perfectly normal day at work the next day, and everything was going to be just great and just fine. And I think that he watched that movie and realized that he doesn't want to work in the restaurant
It
biz
changed
anymore.
his life. It changed his life.
He's like, this is right.
Maybe I helped set someone free. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what happened. Maybe that was the cost of waiting, was setting
Well,
someone
he
free.
does get the doesn't he have that guy that comes in that offers him a job or something, and that's like the whole story is that he's trying to move on from the restaurant industry, but
and
he
it's
can't.
another restaurant.
And he's like about to become a manager, but his manager's an a-hole.
Yep.
And then some guy comes in, he's like, "Hey man, I'd love for you to work," or maybe it's I'd love for you to work at my restaurant, like a more high-end restaurant.
Well,
I can't remember.
I don't think he mentioned, as far as I can remember, I don't think he mentions the restaurant because he gives him a card. And I think when he looks at the card and sees that it's for a
Right.
restaurant,
He makes it sound like it's this
then
nice job.
it just like crushes his absolute
It's
soul.
another restaurant,
Which
yeah.
it's crazy how many people, like the managers of other restaurants, will come eat at the restaurant I work at and offer me a job. Like it's happened so many more times than I can count.
Yeah.
And every time I go to our general manager, I'm like, "Hey, this place is trying to snipe me, so I'm just saying, be on your toes." And she knows I'm not going anywhere, so she just laughs with me. And it's a good time.
She should give you more money to stay. That's
That-
all
we don't.
I'm saying.
They don't give me money.
They'll give you more tables.
They'll give me more tables. There,
Well,
there
I'm
you go.
just saying.
Yeah.
Look, I think tip culture is just wrong in general. You should be paid a fair wage because you're doing a job that can be very stressful and difficult.
If you're good at your job and you make good tips, you do not want the company to pay you because they won't pay you as much as that. But I don't think a great waiter is the average. So I think the average idea maybe for some would be that they would want to be paid like a standard rate. But now being paid a standard rate and being on top of that tipped, for extra good stuff, that's a different story.
Well,
but
I'm just saying the whole idea of it in general,
the idea is insane.
because
Like, it's
I
crazy.
don't get extra money for doing my job well.
Right. Yeah, the idea of it's insane. And whoever started it just caused an entire ripple of
horrible.
insanity for the rest of the time.
Yep.
But the reason I haven't gone to work somewhere else is because I make more money doing what I do now than I could anywhere else. And it's like a black hole. Like, you leave with cash in your pocket. It's really, you feel like you've been stripping all night, and you got to leave your clothes on.
Are you guys hiring? I am willing to take my clothes off.
We'll hire you, absolutely.
Yes.
I'll just give you all the cash tips I have at the end of the night if you just give me the private show whenever we lock the door.
Perfect. Can we do it in the
That's
freezer?
all it takes.
Now, I watched a.
Some things will
describe
be less
it.
impressive, but it will feel
Describe
nice.
it.
The stripping. Can we do
Okay,
that in
yes,
the freezer?
absolutely. Okay.
Because some things will be less impressive.
It's fine.
But I'll feel good.
It's fine. I'm okay with little nipples, Tiny. Don't worry
Now,
about it.
I watched a show the other day, a little clip from Hell's Kitchen, and you got to love some Gordon. I mean,
Love Gordon.
Gordon
Big
is
NASCAR fan over here, too.
Not Jeff, I'm
Love
talking
it.
about Ramsey.
Love
Gordon
it.
Ramsay.
Love me some
Gordon
Gordon.
Ramsay.
Oh, Michael Gordon, the big
Mike,
basketball
the
player. Love
No,
me
no.
some basketball.
But he's a baseball
Loves
player.
it.
No,
And
what
a
are
cartoon
you?
man.
An idiot sandwich?
So on this episode that I was watching, this little highlight reel from Hell's Kitchen, they had this owner of a restaurant that every night he would collect all of the tips from the waiters, and they wouldn't receive any of the tip money that they got.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And he says, "No, we get paid. We pay them hourly, and the people are actually paying these waiters for their good service, like paying them because they did a great job."
Mm-hmm.
So Gordon decides that he's going to just go ahead and let this out, and he says, he turns around, and he says, "So they're not giving the tips to the wait staff that you just paid the tip to," and people were standing up, causing a riot.
I bet.
So I just wonder, I wonder what the overall, consensus is for the public, towards food, because it's, towards the people that work in the food industry, because going to these food trucks, people aren't going to bat an eye at paying the price that they are for this food.
No.
It's costing them more than it would at a standard restaurant, but they're not caring. They're paying money for it.
It's equal to an artisanal experience, right? I mean, you can get something that's been handmade from a small business, and you're willing to pay more for it because you know that there was a little more heart and stuff put into it. You see the face of the person that what you're giving them is helping pay their life, and it's a lot different than going to a building that no one that works there was involved in the making of the business whatsoever. Everyone that works there makes a tiny portion compared to the people that own it.
And a machine made it for mass production,
Right.
Rather than individually handcrafted.
Yeah, and even the restaurant industry, that is the machine compared to something like a food truck, to where you're watching this person sweating inside of a box to make you a really good chicken Philly or some barbecue
Hot dog.
tops nachos.
Hot dog.
or those deep fried Oreos that you hated was made by a man that looks like Sam Elliott.
Listen, I got used to it. I think at first it was just the batter.
it's funnel cake batter.
And it was just kind of
Delicious.
drowning out the delicious Oreo flavor.
See,
I
for
wanted
me,
a little bit of something in the middle.
the last thing I want to add to an Oreo is grease, though. I feel like an Oreo is it's a cookie treat. And I
Yeah.
don't want to add grease to it. I don't know. I feel like grease belongs on other things.
I could have
I
swore
did
that
mine
when I
in
heard
bacon
them
grease.
described that people
Guys.
said that they'd put ice cream in it, kind of like deep fried ice
No.
cream.
See, I'm
and
all
they
about
put
that.
Oreo in it.
No,
That
some-
would've been delicious.
There are
I'm
some
into
places
that.
that will give you a scoop of vanilla on top of
Yes, give me
those,
that.
with some chocolate or something.
That would have been good.
Guys,
I have
That's the
seen
missing
that.
link.
I've got it.
What have you got?
We make a deep fried restaurant, or we can make our own deep fried confectionaries.
How do you deep fry a building?
That's going to take a lot.
Just
of
listen to
batter.
me.
Talk about that
Follow
first.
me on this.
Plenty of oil.
And it's baseball themed on the inside, and we call it Hey Batter Batter.
Ooh.
There's no way that can't. There's no way that's not a thing. It's too good.
Yeah, do we use air fryers or airless fryers?
Both.
Whoa.
How did you do that? Because I thought both, but I didn't say it because I wasn't as cool.
It has to be both because some things will fry up better in an air fryer than they will in a normal fryer, and other
Airless fryers.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's how you need to fry. Can you hold on. Now my brain messed up. Can you deep fry an Oreo in an air fryer?
Yeah, you just got to do it on a sheet of parchment paper.
But doesn't that cut off the flow of air from underneath it?
I don't know. I just work
Does that
here.
mean you just have to flip it at some point?
I don't know. Just give
I'd
me
say
$5.
Yeah. Okay. If you're doing it,
You're asking the wrong guy, man. I just work here. Give me $5 and get on out of my face. You want to tip me?
We can test this later. We have the technology.
Yeah. We can also set our air fryers on fire real quick too. We found out about that.
yes. If you put a very light tortilla inside of an air fryer, the way it works, it's basically a convection oven. And when I say basically, it is. And what happens is the flow of air will cause the tortilla to suck up into the eye, just like on a stovetop that's got those steel eyes.
You don't have a removable
eyes. On the inside of the air fryer?
Yeah.
Maybe. I didn't try
Ours
to.
comes out. Like
I
you
didn't
can
try to
take it out.
remove it.
I don't think ours comes out.
It's top loaded. It's loaded at the top. Like when you pull the little tray out, the holder, it's up there at the top of it. But the tortilla sucked its way up there and just stuck to the hot eye of the air fryer, and it smelled real bad. It almost made Carly have to call an ambulance.
It did.
It was rough.
And
it was real rough.
It didn't smell like burned product. It smelled like a chemical fire had happened. And speaking of a chemical fire that happened,
What is
Tiny
this,
has
Tiny?
provided us with
Watermelon.
something.
Is there any other flavor than watermelon?
Yes.
Please, at least let me do that. Okay, thank you.
I have blue raspberry.
Anything but blue raspberry. Ooh, lemon's
I
gonna
forgot I
hurt
had
worse,
them in
but I'm
my
gonna do.
pocket.
Okay, lemon's the only flavor that I want.
What is this red
this,
one?
Tiny?
I don't know. I saw them at Walmart for like $1.
Oh no, toxic waste and warheads are right next to each other with how strong they are for their
Okay.
sourness. So in case
Warheads are better.
they are, I think toxic waste gives you a little bit more pucker upon your mouth insertion.
Not really.
I like the canister that it's in. It looks like a
Yeah, it's a
little.
cool canister.
It even looks like it has ooze coming out of the top. See,
I
that's
basically bought it for the container.
yeah.
Come on.
Just
Put it
in your mouth.
in you.
Just put it in your mouth, Marius. And then crunch hawk. It kind of tastes like after you threw up. At first,
Why did you put that in my head? Because it was like not that bad.
This is not even.
gracious!
Mine's not even sour anymore.
oh, it's not good.
I had the lemon one, so that added some to it.
Well, I have a ridiculously high tolerance to sour. So,
Do you?
Yep.
Oh, as it turns out, I don't have much of one at all.
I've got a dead
I had to
mouth.
get it off my tongue. It's like
Yeah,
between
that
my
hurts.
cheek and my teeth.
This is worse than warheads.
Yep.
Nah.
Warheads had a coating. This is like the whole candy.
Yeah, there's no sugar
No,
on the
it
outside.
goes-
of it.
it gets
There's
off.
nothing.
It comes off.
It's just the toxic waste part of the warhead.
Oh, there it is.
I have what's
No.
known as grave mouth, so
What?
it just takes a lot to bother me, sour or hot.
grave mouth?
Yeah, I've killed
just
everything
dead in
in
there?
there. I've
I
killed
gave up.
everything in there.
I can't do it.
You gave up?
Yes.
I've still got it in there,
It's
but
disgusting.
I'm not enjoying my
I'm
time.
good. I had the black cherry of these toxic waste candies, and the black cherry, after you get through the sour taste of it, it tastes just like cough syrup.
God, that's
Well,
awful.
I have
Yeah,
watermelon.
I think the sweet is now starting. So the sweet is after with this. Get some crunch in there. What's the crunch like? Okay, that's not got a nice crunch.
That one
sound
sounds
to
like
it.
watermelon because that's what it was.
This
Oh,
this
that
next
makes sense.
sound is the impression of my dad's knees when he gets up off the couch.
I've heard
Oh
it.
no, he's right behind you, isn't he? Literally, there he is.
Oh man, this has been a fun day though. I mean,
It
just
has.
as far as like getting to sit here and watch everybody, because I mean, I love people watching. I don't like people talking that much.
No,
Like I will because I can. I was born with a gift of gab, but the ability to use it and and willingness to use it, it's not exactly lined up as much as it could be.
yeah.
But just watching people walk around, like there were all sorts out today. Like you saw some no teethers, you saw some good teethers.
Too many teethers. I saw somebody with 3 rows of teeth.
Oh yeah,
You ever seen that? Yeah.
Somebody-
That's how you go to a
the-
food truck festival.
the preemptive denture insertions.
yes.
Like I hadn't lost my teeth yet, but I'll put my extra ones in just for all this food I'm going to
You
consume.
can chew twice as much food with 3 rows of teeth whenever you go to a food festival, and that is what I forgot to bring today, was an extra row. And maybe I could have chomped through this candy more because I don't want to crunch it.
God, that's all. It's
I
horrible.
just put 2 in.
It's detestable.
It got past the flavor part. I think the sour gave me grave mouth for the rest of it,
No,
unless I can't use
they don't
that
have
phrase
very
because
good
I don't.
fruit flavor.
Yeah, no, it's not very. Not very great.
Yeah,
More sour in the middle.
No, I got through with it because it started tasting like those secrets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember those secrets.
Sucret? What
I
is
don't
that?
think I got close
Are
to
they
being through the.
secrets, those little
Sour.
cough drops that are the red cherry cough drops?
Oh, yeah, I don't like cherry.
Yeah.
I don't like cherry. I don't like the taste of cherry.
Secretes. That's what it. No,
Mhm.
that's
That's a thing.
that's something you got to take antibiotics for.
Yeah, that's something
Oh.
that happens.
I thought that was excrete.
That too.
no.
There's too many cretes.
No, you got to take
Con-
kaopectate for that.
Con.
Oh, concrete.
Concrete's a crate.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that kid has like a toy Yeti. Can you win toys here?
Yeah, they have games and stuff over there that they had. They were like fair games where you could
The
throw the ball at the bottles and this and that. They had
I
a
can
dunking
throw
booth.
balls.
I thought about paying $1 just if I could get in the dunking booth.
Oh, that would have been fun.
Yeah, because when the sun's out, it's hot.
Yes.
But there is a nice breeze when the clouds come out.
Uh-huh.
But there was at one point where it took so long for the breeze to hit.
Yeah.
I debated going, hey, can I be part of your booth? Just put me up there. Just dunk me. I'll give you $5.
I'll give you money to let
I'll give
me
you
get
$5 American dollars.
I think they would have gotten really mad at me if I was in the Dunkin' booth because I have a bad problem with peeing in pools. And that would have been really
It's just
bad.
kind of an instant reaction for you. You just get waist deep in water, and it's automatically time to piss.
Yeah, and I mean, people told me for years, like, they got stuff in the pool that'll turn colors if you end up peeing in it. And I tested that in every pool I've been in, and there ain't one that's reacted.
Yep.
So they just a bunch of lying asses is all they are.
I have peed in every single body of water that I've ever come in contact with.
The bathtub,
Yep.
the toilet.
I didn't used to be a shower peer, but I must say,
How could you
I am
not?
converted. I now am.
And why do
But it's
people...
like the first thing
I'm
I
now
do.
bathed in the piss.
And I never knew how divisive the world was, like, on the idea of shower peeing because it's just going right down the drain.
It's right there, saving
Yeah.
water.
Like, why is it a big deal? It's not like I'm peeing on my feet and I'm trying to... Well, that does prevent athlete's foot.
So I've been told.
I mean,
So someone has told me.
occasionally hit the foot, but you're literally in there in a cleaning
You're
situation.
there to wash.
It just
filth.
quickly flushed away.
Now, here's a question that's even worse than that is, do you wash your legs and feet while you're in the shower,
thought you
or
was
does
gonna-
gravity take care of it for you?
I thought you was going to say something about waffle stomping.
No, yeah,
The
I thought that's
W
where
was
that was
leading me
going
there.
to.
Nope,
yeah,
I'm good
I thought
on that.
naturally we were going from pee to poo-poo, and we didn't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, no, I don't talk about poo-poo as much as I can.
No, I'm pretty sure that I washed my body. I think I washed the whole thing.
Whole thing.
I
You know,
usually
Marcus?
just drop it in my hand and fling it over
Marcus,
there.
when you're in the shower, do you wash your entire body, even your legs, your knees, your all that stuff, or you just let
course.
gravity happen? Okay,
Of
because
course,
some
I don't
people,
shower very often, and so when
some-
I do, I shower good.
some people let it just have gravity. Like, well, the soap's washing south, so it's going to get the rest of it.
But it's also carrying filth and debris from the rest
From
of
the
your
top,
body.
yeah.
And that's another
It's going to be the
thing.
dirtiest part of your body at that point.
Baths. Baths are a post-shower experience.
Don't you talk bad about baths.
I'm
Baths
not.
are a pre-shower experience. You
Baths
need to
are
shower
just an
after you
experience.
bath.
I was thinking you shower before you bath so you can wash yourself and you're clean so you don't have to
No,
sit in your
no.
own waste.
No,
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 it's
no.
like after you make a lasagna and you let that dish soak before you actually clean it.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. We leave dishes soaking for a couple days sometimes.
It's basically body lasagna.
Yeah.
That's what you've got going on whenever you're taking a bath. It's body lasagna.
After the smell that Tiny made earlier, I think that's what it actually was that we smelled was
Body
some body
lasagna.
Possible.
he just popped the top on it and let it vent for a second.
Sometimes you have to.
Oh, speaking of popping the top off, I think we can do that to this episode. Cheers, boys. We did another one. We did another live episode, and we didn't have to talk to strangers, although we were like, hey, if people come by and want to see what we're up to and join, go for it. But we're kind of on the outskirts of all the happenings, and I'm kind of happy that we were.
Well, and the one person that did come up, Tiny, farted on them. So
Hey, there was another person too.
it's okay, though. I think he's a little young for
Well,
our target audience.
Yeah, I think so, too.
It was probably for the best.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening to us gab away about food and farts. And wherever you're listening to us, please click 5 stars and tell people why you love it or why you hate it. I really do not care. I just think that there are 5 stars where you're listening to us, and they need to be clicked. They need to be clicked real good. And then if you go on the internet, you can click on a website that's underneath the description of the episode, and you can go buy a T-shirt. Me and Austin are wearing T-shirts right now that have the podcast on them. So that way, if anybody looks and says, "What's up?" we just turn our backs to them, and that way they know what we're about. About face.
And if you would like to talk to us a little bit about the food trucks that you have experienced in your life and some of the, the delicacies that you may or may not have gotten at food trucks, just hit us up. Get on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Look up at Nerd Grapevine. You can send us some messages. You can comment on some stuff. You can talk to us about the things that we talked about on this episode or whatever you want to talk about. I'm not shy for talking to people that listen to the podcast. I'm always amazed that anybody does. So if you would like to donate a little bit to the cause as well and maybe replenish some of the money that we just set on fire here at the Food Truck Festival, get on Patreon. Look up Nerd Grapevine. Donate a little bit to the cause. Get a shiny holographic sticker. Unlock future content that we're going to be unleashing on there. That's going to be our Grape Flavored Gaming. It's going to eventually be tied into other stuff, too. I mean, where else do you think you're going to find the resurgence of Best Friend's Tiny Kitchen?
Nowhere. There will be nowhere else. That will be the only place.
And if you tried to get on like an orange-bordered website or something and look up Best Friend's Tiny Kitchen, it might deliver a little bit of a different product than what we delivered on our...
like HomeDepot.com?
No, Pornhub. So you just that'd cause somebody
Not
to
a
have a little
sponsor.
bit of...
Not a sponsor. Just want to get that out there.
KY
Not a
Jelly,
sponsor.
yes.
Yes, we will
Home Depot,
take the
no.
Kentucky Jelly and Home Depot sponsorship, but not anything with a hub in it unless it's Subway.
Subway.
So there's a link in our description. It'll take you to our Discord. Click on that. Become part of the Backyard Bonanza. Leave some memes. Tell us about food trucks you've experienced. And, we're on there live, uncut, uncensored, and irrevocably circumcised.
And also on YouTube
Yee.
with some funky stuff.
That
But
funky
tiny.
groove for all you kids out there.
All you fat
Yeah,
cats
that-
and your funky beats.
Well, that funky fanboy funk for that kid that came to watch us.
got
I
it.
just wish that everyone could have
He
seen
got a
his
mouthful,
face.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
He was
did.
like
He was-
amused, but
he
at
was-
the same time kind of upset.
He was sitting with his head nearest to Tiny's
Yeah,
ankles.
he was.
In my defense, I had no idea he was there.
Well, he didn't know what was happening
That
either.
makes it so much more funny, though.
Hey, you know what? Marcus, you haven't been here in a second, so when life gives you grapes...
Shove it up your butt.
Marcus,
where's the story
you're not
behind
gonna
that?
Deep
How
fry
did you
it?
get in
You're
there?
not
You're not
going to
gonna
put it in
batter.
between a couple cookies.
You could do something-
Maybe put it in some batter.
Not going to dehydrate it and make it taste better.
Yeah, unless it's a plum.
Yeah, and then
because
the prunes
apparently
grows.
prunes are bad.
I mean, there will be some sort of chemical process that begins once it's up there.
so
So
you're
maybe
gonna
we'll see what happens
deep
afterwards.
fry. You're gonna deep fry an Oreo. Okay,
Hey, so he's going to
all
put
right.
he's going to put it in the pressure cooker.
Yeah.
That's what I call mine.
What's your anus?
Yeah, the pressure cooker. You ought to hear that after some Starbucks. Ballsiest.
That smells like hot garbage, and
so
I'm
bad.
sorry.